typical Cypriot worker. This is update number 3 of our 2015 tour behind the scenes. This is the Cyprus event, of course, and standing in front of Colossus, we're almost done here. And hopefully throughout the rest of this video, you'll be able to get a general understanding of what it takes to put on a type event like this. This isn't behind the scenes. It's not about showing you each obstacle, what to expect for the Cyprus. This is for all our events in 2015, so you can see what it takes to put on one of these events. And to meet some of the people who give you a top 5 day of life experience. So this is probably one of the greatest jobs I've ever had. However, you have to be, what most people don't realize is you have to be part plumber, part carpenter, definitely a problem solver. There's a challenge and a problem or an issue or a topic that comes up every 5 minutes when you're out here. And it's little stuff like this that has to be done, you know. There is no mall of obstacle courses. You just can't run down to the store and go buy an obstacle off the shelf and then have it made. You have to bespoke every time. Every terrain is different. Every obstacle layout is different. We have certain obstacles that we do every single time, but again, where we place them, it can't be standardized. We've tried. We've built everything in policies and procedure manuals, but it's always different every place we go. So there's a lot of, beyond being physically exhausted, being outside working all day long, note the red face and the sunburned arms, as opposed to the first video where I was pasty white. It's, you know, beyond the physical stuff, it's mental. Every single 5 minutes something's coming up and you have to come up with a solution. We have one chance to get it right. That's it. It's a one-day event. So we have one chance. And if we screw it up, we don't have a chance to fix it until the next year. And this is what happened in the first Legion run in Cyprus. We screwed up a few things. We know. We heard you. And we take what you're saying in our social media channels very, very, very personal. And we read every comment. I'm sure many of you are very surprised at how fast we respond to your comments. We do not edit comments. We do not delete comments. So what's up on our Facebook page, for example, that's the real stuff. That's the real you talking to us, and that's the real us talking back. I make many comments myself. You know, we get a lot of comments, you're making millions, you're making a fortune off of all these runners. Look, we are making good money. I'm fully transparent. We're doing well. However, you want us to do well, because if we're not doing well, we close down, and there goes Legion Run, and there's nothing like this, especially in Cyprus, at all. We're the only shop in town. We don't raise our prices. We keep everything to a certain percentage of a profit margin. And again, there is no mall you can go down the road and pick up an obstacle. And we're talking upwards of 100 to 150, somewhere in some places even 200,000 euros to do a one-day event. So it's not like I'm driving this big 7 Series BMW here. One other thing I want to talk about the course. So some obstacle courses promote that they're ex-British SAS forces, they're ex-soldiers, you know, they promote pain, they promote hardness. We promote fun. It's not exactly the easiest thing you're going to do in your life. It is definitely a challenge. And I wanted to say I'm really proud of our staff. I think we have really good, highly dedicated, fun people that built this stuff. And I also wanted to say, you know, in Cyprus, this course wasn't developed by British SAS ex-forces, American ex-special forces. The people who actually developed this course for Cyprus, one's a girl in her 20s and the other one's a girl in her late 20s, let's say that. So we're very proud of them, and we'll see your reactions after, whether these girls, now I have to mention, they're crazy girls. They're not your everyday go to the mall shopping for shoes kind of girls. So this is Vasily. He's our civil engineer. He comes to do our inspect our stuff, make sure we're all according to code and standards, and make sure nothing falls down. Vasily, meet the Legion. Legion, meet the Vasily. Hi guys. Hadrian 2.0. Hadrian 2.0, she's a little ugly right now, but she'll look good once we give her a fresh coat of paint. Hadrian 2.0 has tires along the bottom, has a tire channel going up the middle for those novices that aren't good at climbing ropes. We want to build all the obstacles for everyone, so everyone can participate. You can climb up the rope as such. It's quick, simple, 7.5 meters high. Up to the top, down the other side. This is Pilum, so it's a series of 5 logs in a row. You go over the logs, not under the logs. Yes, the logs, as you can see, are up to my shoulder. I'm roughly, 1.8 meters tall, 6 foot tall. As you can see, these are a good 5.5 foot. It's over, then dashing further down. And from here, you can see every obstacle we have until you get to the pit. Starting with Hadrian, then Funis, then there'll be a tire drag, then there's going to be Roman walls. Past Roman walls, you go into the ice skips, then it's down into the pit. This is Roman walls, probably one of the most underestimated obstacle that we have. As you can see, it's a series of 7 walls, over, under, over, under, over, under. On each wall, there will be barbed wire laced throughout, which means if you don't get high enough, and if you don't get low enough, you're gonna get poked. So, basically these are little things that we do to protect our materials. You know, we paint them, just small little touch-ups, plus we do the large paint jobs. It protects our materials from the elements, but also it's visually appealing. You know, we were talking about costs earlier. This is €5 for a can of paint. I just wasted a whole can of paint on just a couple boards. But if you added up the time it'd take for the crew to come over, unload all the equipment, the generators, the compressors, because there's no power out here. This is what a lot of people forget. This is not a static place. We're here, it takes us 6 days to build, 1 day for the event, 2 days to tear down. Our containers are picked up and moved away. So it cost me more to bring people here as a full crew to paint this one board than it does for this. But you know, we go through probably 6 cases of spray paint. Outside of that, we go through about 40 to 60 liters of black paint every event. Every event we repaint, we repaint. When you're talking €98 for 10, 15 liters of paint, that stuff adds up after a while. Just a little more behind the scenes, so you know what it takes to put on a Legion run. Probably one of the greatest jobs in the world. Alright, so this is Colossus. Colossus takes on average 3 days to build. The quickest we've ever built it was a day and a half, but that was with a massive crew. It's unneeded to do that. It's only in a big rush. Like in Sofia, it rained almost every single day in a torrential downpour. So we had a very short period of time to build everything. So we just threw a bunch of money and people at it and made it happen. Beautiful weather in Cyprus. It rained a little bit yesterday and the day before, but right now it's beautiful, so we don't need a full-on crew on this. 4 or 5 guys can put this up in a couple days. Colossus, roughly 86 to 102 OSB panels in double, on top of each other, double layers. 12,000 screws. Enough lumber to build a house itself. Hey, you could just have them drop it off. We'll move them with the forklift. Alright, as this is a new year, it's 2015, we're constantly learning from each of our previous events, and we're trying to make things more efficient and better and bigger, better, and wetter, as we say. So this is the first time we're using this configuration with start and finish in the same area. Now the start line, we used to have 8-foot walls to climb over to get into the start line, but now we're running everybody in 15-minute wave times. It's not enough time to get the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over those walls and before we shoot them off. So what we did is we modified it a bit. We made the chutes smaller to make you more condensed in there, and then we added, instead of start walls, we're doing finish walls. So you're gonna go throughout the myriad of obstacles that are out in the course within a 5-kilometer space. The last obstacle you're gonna hit is Colossus, which is a challenge in its own. Then it's the finish walls, then you cross the finish line. We're all happy. I think you'll have fun. I think in all of our courses we go above and beyond of what we think we need. For example, if we have this board here and we think that it needs 3 screws to be fastened to another one, we'll put 6. We over-engineer everything. We took a model, 2 models, really. One was the McDonald's model, where everything is systemized and processed and you can step into the job and learn it within 15 minutes. And the other one is the military. So if you need 1 board, you're gonna order 3. If you need to put 2 screws, you're gonna put 4. Each one of our obstacles we're building according to specs. We have civil engineer documents and licensed contractors that build them. Then we have our ad hoc stuff that we just kind of invent on the fly. Within the next hour and a half, our civil engineer will come out, he'll review all of the stuff that we've done, and he will sign off. No obstacle will be used until the civil engineer signs off and the contractors sign off. And not only do the contractors build it, they're also here on event day to make sure everything works and fix it if it doesn't. Because again, we have 1 shot, 1 chance to get it right. And part of the mythos, or ethos rather, part of the ethos of Legion Run is, you know, we are Legion, we are you, we are one of many, and we're only here once, and we're here for 1 day a year. So from the time you check in to the time you register, whether it be online or a physical location, all the way till the time you get back into your car and drive home, that's part of our brand. And we take that stuff very serious.